where it's pitch black. Robots can still see there and so on. So they can
more opportunities.
They have more dates. They can go longer on dates. They can go anywhere. They just can't eat. Hello. This is the 243rd Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2225, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. And today we're talking about dating in the future. It's a topic that we haven't mentioned so much before.
I think barely at all, right?
Yes.
But some people have written to us asking about it, so we figured we'd get to it.
Today we lift the cloth and we talk about it. But before, I noticed this thing laying on your desk that I haven't seen before.
This right here, yeah?
Yes.
This is an eye patch.
An eye patch?
An eye patch. I got it quite a while ago. The last Pirate Games.
Yeah. We went there.
Exactly, it was a promotional item. For our listeners, it's a small rectangle with a glowing screen when you switch it on.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, pretty small. Like, what's that? Like 4 or 5 centimeters wide, 3 or 4 centimeters tall.
Yeah.
It has this brown leather strap around it, and check this out. So
So
that
it's
strap,
like a
magnetic strap. And the point of that is, see, I can put it on my face here.
In front of one eye.
Exactly, in front of one eye. It's an eye patch, and then put the strap.
That's a nice eye patch.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, pirate themed,
Yes.
Made sense from the Pirate Games.
So is it now blocking your lens if you have it on?
If I keep it on, I'm going to take it off because otherwise it's a bit silly. So take it off, switch it off.
It looks cool. It appears a bit. Can I
yeah,
try?
you can have a look.
Okay, so this is how let me do it. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, you've got it. Well, rotate it 90 degrees. It's meant to be flat against your face rather than edge on. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it.
Oh. So it's actually too close to see anything.
Right, yeah, it's a bit... Pirates back in the day, I guess they weren't so sensible, but, they like the look of it.
I'm taking it off now. Okay. Nice. I fail to see what I can use it for, but it's pretty cool.
My understanding is pirates used to wear eye patches on their sailing boats for when they needed to go below decks where it was really dark. And that they'd have one eye that was covered with the patch. And that way when they went below where it was all dark, they could lift the patch and that eye would be used to seeing in the dark. And this is like a modern version which has a screen involved.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Which doesn't really make sense, but yeah.
Maybe the lenses don't have connection up there when they're flying over in their airships.
That would make sense.
And then they had there's a local copy. Maybe this has a local data copy.
Much like the schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway,
it's a bit too blurry to read.
Yeah. Anyway, eye patch.
Eye patch.
That's cool. Yeah. So shall we start dating?
We can start talking about it.
Yes. Let's do that. Yeah. So like you mentioned, we occasionally get emails about the topic, and I think we may have mentioned it in the episode about lifespan quite a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago now.
Maybe a quick recap for our listeners. Average lifespan is 151 years. You're 113 years old.
Yeah, correct.
I'm 73 years old. And because we live so long, life has, like the way we deal with families and relationships and so on have changed. People often don't really commit for life to a relationship, but
it's unusual to, when you're in your mid-20s to say, hey, I'm going to be with this person for 130 more years.
Yeah. So it gets regularly evaluated every 10 years. Is this still the right thing? And if not, you end the relationship, you go do other stuff. Sometimes people are single all the time. Sometimes they have changing relationships, whatever.
Yeah.
But this means also that back in the day, I guess, dating just happened at the beginning of your life.
That's my understanding, right? Exactly. Teenagers, throughout your 20s, people will do a whole lot of dating.
Yeah.
And then pretty much stop. And then maybe meet someone that they like well enough to be like, yeah, let's be together forever. And then basically stop dating.
Exactly. And then occasionally, maybe exceptionally, do it a little bit later on. But like in the 23rd century, it's kind of like an regularly returning thing.
Right. And as you mentioned, so sometimes when you want, of course, you can really focus on that aspect of life.
Yep.
Other times you can focus on other things, and that goes into the background.
So that's the thing. So for us, the beginning of our life that's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
I mean, for you even more than for me.
Yeah.
But it's not like for us, because it is a regularly returning thing in the lives of 23rd century people. For us, we could have been dating also recently,
Indeed.
regularly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could have been.
So, why do people date? Maybe a quick recap.
Yeah, right.
23rd century people.
I can imagine some of these reasons maybe they had 200 years ago, maybe some not. But either way, we can let them, our listeners 200 years ago, know why do people here in the 21st century, why do people date? Like, what's even the point? Yeah. So some purely for fun, an enjoyable activity. Some to seek short-term companionship, others for longer-term, to find longer-term partners maybe. An emotional connection is really a big reason for a lot of people. A lot of people fulfill that need through friendship. Some folk like to find the emotional connections through romantic relationships. Sure, and another, maybe a minor reason, but some people want children and they use dating as a way to find people that they would like to be parents with. It's not really the best way of finding people you want to be parents with, but it's one way. There are other, exactly, it works. There are other better ways, but it works.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice summary. So different people go into the whole dating thing with different goals in mind. I think that also ties in a little bit. So how does dating even work? Is it even different than maybe a couple of 100 years ago? And I think I mentioned already, it's kind of like a regularly returning thing. But I think at least the way I know it is basically you either organize a date yourself. I mean, that's relatively common. So where you organize it completely yourself or you put in your settings. So this is the kind of date that I want to have. So what's the specification of my ideal date? You put them into the system and then the system spits out a date that you want. You say, I want it to be this long. I want to have this atmosphere. I want the other side to be this or that. I want sex included, yes or no. I want
food involved, like to go for a meal.
Exactly. I want it
go
to
a concert.
Yeah.
Basically what kind of activities you'd like to do. Yeah.
I definitely want it to be a one-time thing, or I'm open for repetition or anything.
Yeah.
So you put in all kinds of settings, and then the system spits out the best match that works with your time schedule. And if there's no match, you get an AI match.
That's an option. Yeah. You can also be like, okay, not tonight.
Yeah. Okay, then not tonight. Yeah. And there's the surprise me button. Is that still there?
Yeah, that's there. That can be for anything, any of those criteria that we talked about. You can obviously have a firm opinion, but you can also not have a firm opinion, and then you can simply choose surprise me. Yeah.
And then, you don't get any selection. You just get an appointment in your calendar. You know, just be at the Taj Mahal at 700 sharp.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bring flowers, something like that. So that's basically the basic setup. So organize yourself, or put it into the system. You get a match. It's surprising how you can be pretty granular with your settings.
Yeah.
And then sometimes still get matched with somebody where you go like, what? You know?
Sure, there's still opportunity to be surprised.
Yeah, both ways. Yeah, so, but I think it wouldn't be the 23rd century if there wouldn't be some technical aspects, technological aspects to dating, or basically technology that made dating different than maybe 200 years ago.
I mean, teleportation is the main one. You mentioned just there, like going for a date to the Taj Mahal in India. When you live in India, okay, if you're local, not a problem.
Get on the bike.
Yeah, but if you're living here in Germany, 200 years ago, that would have been a bit of a trip. Teleportation makes dating across the world much easier.
Yeah.
Wherever you can meet anyone, so anyone can meet anywhere they like.
Yeah. Also makes the matching easier because you have the whole world to your
People all over, exactly, the entire population of the world. There's a chance that you'll get along with someone really well, and you can meet up. It's not a hurdle.
So small piece of advice, although for the listeners probably not super relevant. Pay attention to the time zone.
Of course.
So it's like be there at 7 o'clock.
It's always local time. Like times are always given in the time of wherever the place is that you're going to be meeting. But sure, to keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly, to keep that in mind. So like, because the person that you're dating might be from a different time zone and you yourself might be from a different time zone again.
I mean, for that reason, it's easiest when you are, at least for a first date, going somewhere which is a new place for both of you.
Yeah.
So meaning not somewhere in either of your respective time zones. That way you can both be equally confused and so equally pay attention to it.
I usually have a countdown running.
Yeah.
So just to make sure.
How much in advance? An hour, 10 minutes?
From the moment.
Oh, wow. So if it's like not for a few days, you've got to...
Oh, I never do for...
you don't do it so far I don't organize so far in advance.
Yeah. So always relatively spontaneously. But then you have a bit of a countdown running. It's like, okay, we're meeting at 7 and there's 1 hour to go, but hold on, it's only 1 o'clock. And then, right, different times.
Sure. And actually, that's a good point. If you're going to meet, to go for dinner or to have a meal together, you can plan accordingly. Maybe don't have a huge lunch just before you go.
That's a good point, actually.
I mean, that's probably a thing they had to take off 200 years ago. And again, just with instantly being able to teleport anywhere in the world, just adds another layer to that.
True. At least it should be mealtime for the both of you. So, I mean, can be breakfast for the other side and dinner for you, but at least it should be mealtime. Yeah, one person having a croissant, and the other person having a shepherd pie.
Could work out.
But I think of course the big benefit is you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can have a date anywhere. I mean, this can be your place, this can be the park outside, but this can also be a beach or a mountain top or somewhere with a nice view.
Exactly. People have different tastes. Exactly. Some people are much more adventurous. So going to a mountaintop, for example, or going to places they've never been to before would be really appealing. And other people are more like homebodies. They actually really like, So they would like to have a date. Someone comes over and you hang out in your living room, for example.
Exactly. I mean, that's a super benefit. I think this also, I mean, you can go anywhere, but are still kind of like dating trends. Did you see the small town date?
Yep.
There was I'm not sure if it was a hype or a trend, but it's still
a trend's a good word for it. Just that, this is going back many decades now, but when teleportation first came along, of course, hey, let's all go to really, wild places, like places that wouldn't have even been possible to get to before. That dies down after a while, and then current thing is, how about you go to a small town somewhere? Maybe not your own town, but just some small, quiet, out-of-the-way place. Yeah, in peaceful.
Some inconspicuous where it's just you and your date and the people living there. Yep. No other tourists or passers-by, or you just go there, stroll around, and be a stranger.
And that's where the technology really comes in, because in the past, I think 200 years ago, our listeners, maybe there would be similar things where people want to have a small holiday getaway. They look up, okay, where's a good place to go? They go there, but then a few hundred other people have done the same thing. Yeah. So they get to this place that was really a nice, quiet place like the year before, and now it's very crowded. And so, hey, this is the future here. That kind of scheduling and organization can be taken care of, that you are legit, you and your date, the only people there from elsewhere.
And also, like, if it's far away in nature, there are not teleporters everywhere in nature. You can
have a little hike to get
exactly, or take your hoverboard or
a tandem hover bike.
Yeah, exactly, those kind of things that could really work. But indeed, also the small towns. There are many small towns all across the world. Can be in a temperate area or in a desert region or anywhere, and then you can kind of tinker with the weather. Like if it's raining, cats and dogs, maybe take a different small town. So that works really well. And because there are many, you don't bump into many other dates.
Correct.
Although I've had that.
Well, again, like you mentioned earlier, you specify the criteria you want for a date. Maybe you actually would like to be in a place that's more social, like, there are lots of other people there. Yeah. Specifically on dates,
I've had at least once. It was like a local bakery. It was like a breakfast date. It was a small town in Canada. And then there were definitely some other dates in that bakery at the time. But it kind of added to the atmosphere, so it was a kind of a good thing.
Yep. It depends what. Some folk really like to feel like they're the only ones around. You know? They don't like to be in such a crowded place, maybe. So, but other folk really do enjoy being in a lively atmosphere.
Yeah, true. You know what is also useful for teleportation while dating?
Yes, you've forgotten something.
Yes.
Like either a gift or flowers or something like that. You wanted to bring something with you. You didn't, for whatever reason, bring it with you. But okay, your date goes to the toilet or goes to do something. And while they're away, you can teleport and get the thing.
Or you go to the toilet, but not really.
That's the way. Yep, that'll work as well.
Or you just say, oh, hold on, I forgot something. Yeah,
you can also be upfront. Yeah, it depends. Some folks like to be more direct. Other people, maintain a bit of mystery.
Or even if you don't forget something, but let's say the date says...
Something new, yeah.
I really like daffodils, and they go to the bathroom, they come back, there's a bouquet of daffodils on the table.
You can totally do that. Teleportation helps a lot in that regard.
Any other technology where you think, hey, this comes in handy in particular when dating?
So one really nice aspect of as we've mentioned before, the cam network, so global network of cameras everywhere, recording, so filming and photographing everything at all times. That's really nice when you're on a date because you don't have to worry about taking photos. Like some people want to have photos. Or if they've had a nice time, they'd like to have photos of themselves. And it's really nice not having to consider that, that you can review the footage later and find some nice photos of yourselves.
Exactly, not have to interrupt the moment for taking a photo or so on. It's just like afterwards you can just have the nicest photos of you and your date selected or sequences.
Yeah, and then I mentioned video recording, but also audio. So exactly, you had a really nice conversation and there's something that you either your date mentioned or you mentioned, something really that you would want to refer back to, but you can't remember it. Hey, just check the recording.
Yes, that's a good thing actually. Especially the thing like, oh, she or he liked a particular kind of flower, and then just quickly go back. Oh yeah, right, daffodils. Right. If you have a returning date, then you're gonna, hey, bring daffodils. Yeah, that's a good thing actually. What's also quite popular, saving NFTs from a particular nice moment. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the cams, but just have a non-fungible token saved from a particular nice moment during the date.
Sure.
Maybe you have just a firework going off or a baby lamb running by or whatever, and a particular moment that really stuck, and you can have this saved as a NFT.
Right.
Yeah. When we're talking about dates as if, you go somewhere and have some fun together.
Yeah.
But you also have these semi-official dates, right? Where both of you...
Yeah, not like usually a first date, but rather when you've been dating a while and you want to spend time together, but you've both got other stuff you need to take care of.
Yeah, at a different location.
Right. So you can't teleport to... I mean, you could teleport, but then you wouldn't be able to take care of whatever the thing is you need to... So as a basic example, maybe tomorrow you're going to have some friends over, so you want to prepare your apartment, like tidy up a bit, put up decorations, whatever. But you would also like to spend time with the person you're dating. Maybe they have similar, likewise on their end, they can't just come over, teleport over and help you out. So then you can be doing things in parallel.
Yes.
And then your lenses, so the cam network provides the imagery, your lens lets you see what's going on and obviously hear each other and talk and so on as you're taking care of whatever.
And you're being recorded while you go through the apartment cleaning up, and then the cams follow you around, and then the person on the other side doing the same thing. So you basically are cleaning on the one side and chatting and seeing the person doing the same thing on the other side. Yeah, that's true. So that's what cams allow.
Yeah, and that's also a really useful thing because, teleportation, we mentioned, kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but teleportation works on Earth. But if you're dating someone who lives on Mars, you can't teleport to each other so easily.
True.
But this kind of, being able to spend time together, even though you're not in the same place, that is especially useful for dating people elsewhere in the solar system.
Long-term relationships on Earth used to be like that as well.
Long-distance relationships, you mean?
Yeah, long distance. Yeah, exactly. Where because back then when they didn't have teleportation, like we now have to Mars, like we still have to take shuttles to Mars.
Yeah.
So if you want to hang out with somebody who's on Mars, it's not so easy because it takes some time to get there.
That's really that by definition is a long-distance relationship. Dating someone here on Earth is a local,
Yeah, that's true, actually. I mean, that's a good thing. Space travel does allow us to also date people somewhere else in our solar system.
Mm-hmm.
So if they live on Mars or on the moon or wherever, you can still date them and you can, travel to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what space travel allows. So it's a good thing that we have space travel.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you wouldn't have space travel, you wouldn't have the necessity of traveling to moon.
There wouldn't be people there, you mean?
Yes.
There wouldn't be people there to date. True. I mean, another aspect of, the semi-dates, so the dates where you're doing stuff together, but you're in different places, that's also useful for people who actually do want to date people, but not spend so much time in person together.
Yeah.
Who actually prefer to have their own physical space.
Yeah.
That's useful for that as well.
That's a good point, actually, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. And then it's like a semi date where you still kind of hang out, but not, stumble over each other's legs.
Exactly, not as intense. Yep.
One piece of technology that I like really helps with dating, the Congo, so the food conglomerator.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Allows you to print every kind of food that you want, at least all the foods that are included in whatever Congo recipe model that you have going on. But then you can already eat something special every day if you want. I, for myself, usually stick to a certain kinds of meals that I usually like. But when dating, you can have, something special cooked up either by your own Congo, or you go to special restaurants that have exclusive recipes, and then,
especially for folk who enjoy tasting new things.
Yeah.
Trying foods they've never tried before. That's a really nice aspect.
And then you can, also if the other person really likes, Italian food, and you yourself really like Nepalese food, you can still go to the same place together because, Congo's print, whatever.
Yeah. Sure. And then to the point, maybe our listeners are wondering, I mean, we have food Congos all day, every day. What makes it, what's the reason we're mentioning it here in this episode about dating in the future? Yeah, but it's the thing where some folk really enjoy on a date, trying new food, but specifically not trying it by themselves, but trying it with other people.
True.
So that they can share things and talk about it and so on.
Exactly. I mean, it's a fun topic to talk about anyway, especially if you're doing, for example, I remember when we had this episode where we were printing a 7-course meal or...
Right, so just have a bite of each thing.
Yeah, exactly. Or a 9-course, I don't know. We had some crazy amount of courses.
Many courses.
And this is also a fun thing to do. Like if every course is massive, then not. But if every course is kind of like a small bite, it's just like, you can even use the surprise me button here as well.
Yeah.
It's like how we were doing. Just make something random, see what comes out, and talk about it. You don't even have to make an episode about it like we did.
You don't have to. A conversation. That's a good point for our listeners. 200 years ago, maybe they have the impression everyone in the future is always recording podcasts about the things they do. No, actually, the majority of people who go on dates in the 21st century actually go on the date without recording a podcast.
Oh, but now I have an idea.
While you're on a date, record a podcast?
Yes, it's a bad idea, but it is an idea.
I mean, with the setting up the parameters of what kind of date you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
Find someone else who would also like that, and then you're well set. Nice. Okay. I mean, to go back to that idea of setting parameters and so on. I mean, that's not the only way to find people to go on dates with, yeah. But it's a fun way to do it, where you really have some really specific interests, things that you'd like to try or taste or whatever, and it's just a nice way of finding other people who have the same goals. True. I'm just thinking, I would like to go on a date with somebody who likes to record podcasts and send them back to the 21st century. Yeah, okay, then you might end up with an AI. Or with you. Or with me. But we already do that. So, if you wanted someone else. True. Maybe one thing is good to point out, whenever we refer to people, I mean, now and also in most of our episodes, we mean humans and robots. Right, together. Exactly. So these were some of the questions that our listeners sent us. Is there dating between robots and humans? And yes. Yeah. Right, we've mentioned that before, I think. And exactly, yes. So there are some differences. So for a human to date a robot, it's a little bit different than a human dating another human, or for that matter, a robot dating another robot. Yeah. Just due to differences between humans and robots. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like mentally, there's not so many differences.
Basically the same.
Physically, it's slightly different. And for example, they don't need food.
Right. And so exactly, it wouldn't make sense. So it would be, say you wanted to go on a date to try different foods with people, it would make more sense to go on a date with some humans. But if your focus is rather to talk about a book maybe or watch a film together, then a robot would be well suited.
Very much, yeah. But it was like, and you could still go on a food date and they could basically say, well, that looks interesting or so.
Of course.
That's about it. So that would, I'm guessing if you would put in a parameter that says like a food tasting, there's a smaller chance you get matched with a robot.
Sure.
I mean, you could go for drinks together. That could work.
Yeah, that works. And also, sure, because robots don't sleep, they have the opportunity. I mean, if they want to, they can go on many more dates. They have more waking hours, so basically, they can go on more dates than humans.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They don't sleep. They also can pretty much go anywhere. So you can have like a date inside a volcano or so. For a human, not so great, but most robots can handle that pretty well. Or up a really high, freezing cold mountain.
Where the air is too thin to breathe,
or where it's pitch black. Robots can still see there and so on. So they can
more opportunities.
They have more dates. They can go longer on dates. They can go anywhere. They just can't eat, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe the thing is they also live forever or still pretty long.
Yeah, I mean,
forever, but
they have longer lifespans than humans, which for a short-term dating thing wouldn't really be an issue. But sure, if you wanted a long-term relationship, that would come up.
I mean, for the human would be fine, like long-term relationship. Just for the robot looking for a long-term relationship, it's not so efficient to date a human.
Yeah, they have a different definition of long-term.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So. Dating between Romans and
robots. Yep.
Yes.
Is also a thing.
Very much. So maybe because we also got a few questions about this, how about our dating experiences? So have we been dating? Simon, have you been dating?
I have. In my lifetime, I have been. Yeah, it's true. Sure, we didn't write down the names of the people who asked us these questions, but some people asked. Some people are curious of our listeners. So sure, I'm 113 now, like we said earlier. Back when I was 27, so long before I knew that I was aromantic or asexual, I did actually date and actually date someone, which then led to getting married and also having a child. That was pretty cool. So that was for 12 years, back when I was 27 to 39. Then I kind of took a break for a while. And then 12 years ago, so when I was 101...
Yeah, that's a
pretty big break.
Pretty big break, yeah.
But when I was 101, then I dated someone for 2 years. That was a really wonderful relationship. Then I took another break for a while. And then, I think a couple of years ago now, I went on a couple of dates just with a robot.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Didn't really go anywhere, but was interesting.
They took you to clubs.
Exactly,
right?
Robot clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So it was interesting to experience that.
Yeah, you had some pretty interesting stories coming back from that. Especially robot clubs, not so easy to get into.
Indeed.
As a human, normally.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, that's me pretty much. Yourself?
Sure, yeah. On and off. I mean, not like a particular phase or so, just it's like it feels like a sinus curve, dating, not dating, dating, not dating, kind of like going up and down through my life. It's a fun thing to do. You know what my thing is when dating?
What is your thing?
I like to go to places where there are lots of birds, like particularly seagulls or storks or...
so like birds flying around?
Penguins.
So like, do you want to be like on a hover bike?
No, they're like the birds that I mentioned, they're romantic birds.
Ah, okay.
And they really greet each other nicely when they meet. So if a seagull is somewhere and their date or their partner or whatever comes back, they go like
I see.
And they kind of like dance around each other a little. And storks also do that. They before they go about their nest business or whatever they're doing normally, whenever they meet, they first go, making noises and
like really greeting each other,
clapping their beaks, doing a little dance, and so on.
So when you go on dates, you like to be around that. So, okay, you're not really going on a date with lots of other humans around or other people around, but having the birds around you doing that.
Yep. Yes, and penguins do that. They tick their beaks together. Flamingos do a little dance with the necks around each other and so on.
Intertwined.
Yeah, exactly. So lots of birds that are just super romantic. So this is like if you go on a romantic kind of date.
Yeah.
It's just a fun way to get into the mood.
Yeah.
And still have something to watch. You know, so it's not just focusing on the date just yourself, but still something to watch that kind of, I don't know, lifts the romanticism of the date. Or zero gravity dating. I like that.
So, but not the two, not zero gravity with birds around.
Yeah, zero gravity dating is just fun.
Yeah.
You go for a zero gravity dinner like we did not too long ago. That's just fun because it's messy.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So they're two completely different kind of things.
Different vibes, yeah. Like romantic ones, you have all the birds around, or fun for the sake of fun. Yeah. Zero gravity.
I think a bird date in zero gravity, I don't think that will be fun. I don't think flamingos can really properly intertwine if they're just floating around.
It would be tricky for them.
Yeah. Although now I'm interested in trying this out. Maybe so to close off, we've been talking about dating all this time. So does everybody in the future date all the time? Is everybody in a relationship all the time?
Nope.
No.
Not everyone. Some people do. Some people, it really matters to them. It's like their life purpose. But that's actually quite a small minority. Majority of people do, at various points in their life, maybe date for some time. But then it's also very normal very common to, not for a decade or two at a time.
I know plenty of people that never dated and just lead a happy single life.
Yeah, exactly. Have no interest in it to the point, have no interest in it from the beginning, and so why would they even?
Yeah. And also, there's so much to do in the future. Also, like, this is now episode 243, and this is the first time we properly mention it.
Right.
That kind of gives away that there's also all kinds of other things to keep us busy.
Yeah, exactly. It's not been on top of our mind.
So, looking at the time, we managed to spend a whole half hour talking about dating.
Okay, so
longer than when we spoke about the e-koala.
That's true. But as you just mentioned, it's been 4 years of this podcast. We're coming to it now. Okay, we saved up a few topics, I guess.
Yes.
Even if it's not the main thing
Fair
going
enough.
on.
And to be honest, we've had a few things where I thought, whoa, this could be an episode of itself.
And so, okay, maybe this should be a whole episode. I just remember the thing I wanted to say a second ago, which was just from doing a little bit of research about 200 years ago, a lot of people back then, their main form of emotional connection with other people was dating, like in a romantic way. And that's a pretty big difference now, 200 years in the future. The main form of like emotional connection is through friendship. So it's not that people don't date, but maybe for our listeners 200 years ago, they think, but if so few people are dating, how are you getting satisfaction from life? Are you not having those kind of strong emotional connections? Again, not all, but the majority of people, they get that kind of connection through friendship. So maybe that's a difference between 200 years ago and now, that friendship is a much bigger deal. So.
You see, these kind of deep thoughts explain why we went on longer than about the e-koala.
That's it. The e-koala, there wasn't so much about friendship.
Or neither about the uranium lamp.
Yeah. Anyways.
But then I would say we save the listener question for next week.
Sounds good, yeah.
And we wrap up.
Yep. So, listeners to Test from the Future, please send us an email at michaellasagna5@gmail.com. Put the episode number 243 in the subject so that we know this episode successfully went back in time. And ask us even more questions about our personal lives so that we can wait another 4 years to answer you.
Yes, exactly. So, and I hope that by the time you listen to this episode isn't outdated.
Nice.
And for now, thanks for listening, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.
And she said,